Zimbabwe Republic Police harnessing all resources and effort to sustain and enhance national socio-economic development for the attainment of Vision 2030. Hello viewers and welcome to yet another episode of Crime Watch. I'm Elliot Kudzai Ganyani. The Zimbabwe Republic Police recorded the following road traffic accident statistics that happened during the Easter and Independence holidays. On Independence Day, a total of 75 road traffic accidents were recorded, with 2 people dying and 20 people getting injured. All in all, a total of 1,030 road traffic accidents were recorded during the Easter and Independence holidays, 46 of them being fatal, causing 86 deaths, while 393 people were injured. The Zimbabwe Republic Police urges motorists to always, and we repeat, always value human life when driving on the country's roads. Do not get too excited when driving. Consider resting when you feel tired. Remember, there is no second chance. We need to exercise extreme caution at all times. Moving to a different case, Crime Watch recently visited Chatsworth Police under Gutu district, where a man was apprehended for an assault case which he committed in the year 2020. Upon his arrest, it later emerged that he was also driving a stolen motor vehicle. Let us find out more.
Chatsworth police arrested Webster Mtemeri of Chief Serima for a case of assault which he committed sometime in 2020. He was arrested on the 11th of April at Chatsworth Business Center after a tip-off by members of the public. At the time of his arrest, he was driving a white Toyota Vista which had no registration plates. Furthermore, he also failed to produce a driver's license. The fact that the vehicle had no registration plates but had a third plate raised suspicions that something was amiss. Further investigations later revealed that the vehicle was stolen in Gweru earlier this year. The accused was taken to court and remanded in custody, while the police are finalizing investigations.
Muswa 23 March, takabirwa motikari yedu Fitz yanga yakapaka pamba. Isu tatu kubasa kublawa. Saka pamba papa shingo ine vana. Saka tinofungidzira kuti mbavha dzaka wana access through the windscreen yekumashure. Ndokubva dzakwanisa kusundira motikari parodi. Ndokubva dzaba motikari. Saka padzakaba motikari takamhanya kunorepota nyaya yacho kumapurisa. Takagara dzinenge 2 weeks. Ndokuzosvika pakunzwa kuti mota yabatwa kuChatsworth. Saka nhasi tiri pano paku-identifya mota yacho. Tabva taona kuti zvishuwa ndiyo motikari yedu. Tinoda kutendawo vezitarapi nemaofficers ese akabatsira panyaya iyi. Kune vaya vanofungidzira kuti mapurisa haazi kusenza. Kana mukabigwa ndo pamuchaona kuti vanhu vaya vanosenza.
As police, we would like to thank members of the public for supplying information leading to the arrest of the accused person. We encourage members of the public to participate in community policing initiatives that promote collaboration and partnership between the police and the public. Community policing is premised on the idea that community peace and security needs are not relegated to the police alone, but that the burden is shared between the police and the public. Through these initiatives, we are able to accomplish joint problem identification and problem solving for both national security and human security.
If you commit an offense, no matter how long it goes undetected, we will eventually uncover it and bring you to book. Be warned. Moving to a different story, the Dorowa police apprehended a trio which comprised 3 members of the same family for murder.
ZRP Dorowa received a tip-off to the effect that there was a suspected human body in a well at Farm 253 Zviambe, Wedza. Police reacted and proceeded to Farm 253 and interviewed the farm owner. The farm owner led the police to the well where a male adult human body was discovered in an advanced decomposing state. Inquiries were made within the area. Information given led to the arrest of the suspect, Matilda Zehonye, aged 27 years, of Farm 254 Zuyambe. She was interviewed and led police to the arrest of Petros Muchaziwepi, aged 34, and Margaret Machingura, aged 73, of Farm 253 Zviambe, Wedza. The circumstances are that Margaret Machingura, aged 73, hooked up with the now deceased at Save Business Center and proceeded to her residence for the night together. This did not go down well with Petros Muchaziwepi, who was a long-time lover of Margaret Machingura. Petros proceeded to Margaret's bedroom where she was sleeping with the now deceased and attacked him until he was unconscious in the presence of the other two accused persons. The three took the body into Margaret's bedroom and kept it for the whole day covered with blankets. Later in the evening, the three accused persons hatched a plan to secretly bury the body in a well. They took the body into a well that was 900 meters from their homestead and dumped the body. The three accused persons have been arrested and taken to Murambinda Court, where they are all remanded in custody.
We are taking a short breather, and you join me in the second segment where we visited the accident scene where a bus was involved in a horrific accident that led to the death of at least 13 people. We start the second segment on a rather sad note following the death of 13 people in an accident that happened 5 kilometers from Chivu along the Murambinda-Chivu Road. We visited the scene with the Traffic Safety Councillor of Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, the Minister of State and Provincial Affairs for Mashonaland East Province, and of course the Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development.
As Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, we want to extend our condolences to the families of the bereaved. It is said that even as we are here on site now, again we find that some of the people that unfortunately passed on did not have any form of ID. I think 8 out of the 13 did not have any form of identification. So it's proving a bit difficult for everybody, for the relevant authorities to identify them. So I want to encourage people to travel with some form of identification. We have recently been having engagements with the various operators concerning this issue of their speeding, competition. While I cannot say at this stage that this particular incident was caused by speeding, when you look at the skid marks and we look at the way the bus went all the way right through these bushes, you see an element, potential of speeding. That's the first thing. The second thing, we understand that it was misty or it was kind of drizzling, so that could have also contributed to this. This is sad, and it removes the efforts that we had made as Traffic Safety Council and the stakeholders, including the police, to try to reduce accidents. And I think we've done quite well. But this area in Mashonaland East, Chivu, Mvuma, we have lost lives. We are making a recommendation to government that there are 2 things that we need to critically look at. The first one is that we need to now go to the issue of speed management on a serious note. The current laws allow for about 8 methods for road speed management for bus operators. We believe we should now limit them to not more than 2. One of the things is that we need to put the speed limiters, which are the governors. The second thing is we are saying let each operator have satellite tracking. If you look at what is happening now, I would say about 95% of the buses, they have satellite tracking. The missing link in our view is that government should then be allowed by law to be able to go to the control centers of each one of the operators and demand to see the results of any operation at any particular day. Because the operators, the satellites, actually they can tell which bus was speeding. What we don't know is what do they do with that information.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police is saddened with the road
Traffic accidents which are being recorded in the country, where you find that people are losing life, people are getting injured, property is getting destroyed. In particular, this accident which occurred at the 5-kilometer peak Chief Muramida Road, where we confirm that 13 people have died, 40 have been injured due to various factors which include speeding on the part of the driver. And we are urging the transporters to educate their drivers, to mentor their drivers to be responsible on the road. We can't continue losing lives on the road, to be honest. Yes, we may effect arrest. We are conducting awareness campaigns. We've met the transport operators and we want to urge them to implement what they've pledged to us as the Zimbabwe Public Police, what they've pledged to the government. And also to say, road safety is a collective responsibility, which needs the drivers to exercise caution.
Isu semabus operators tinorwadziwa zvakanyanya, especially in this time of the year where people are celebrating independence, and at the same time we have sad news like this. So at the end of the day, we just want to conscientize our travelers and the traveling public, including the drivers, that speed is not the way to go. Let's travel with a safe speed, and whenever it's raining, these buses have got gadgets called the retarders. Let's switch off those retarders.
The best way for us to be able to also see a way to navigate on this is for us to come up with timetables whereby we say, okay, now we know this bus is coming out this time and it has to stick to that time, so that at least now we know that this is your time, and within that time you'll never find people competing to go and get customers. And also for these youngsters, I still feel, if you look at the young people who are now driving buses, it's quite a scare. You realize that the issue of us saying we needed to get to a limit of saying maybe 25 years or 30 years before you get a class 1 driver's license, I think this has to be adhered to. I think we need to continue emphasizing, especially on public transport. We need to set a limit to say at what age, because we need mature people to be driving these people, especially passengers.
We would want the public to play an active role when it comes to the transportation that they are traveling in. This driver was probably speeding, and there were people inside the bus, but nobody raised an alarm, or they didn't even try to stop the driver to make sure that he travels according to the speed limits which are required on the roads. So we expect the public to play an active role in terms of making sure that drivers comply to the speeds that are required, and also transportation owners, they should make sure that they employ drivers who are of good sound and character, and check upon them once in a while to ensure that they are not behaving untoward, especially when they are ferrying public from one place to the other.
We also had the opportunity to visit Chifu General Hospital with the entourage which was sent, of course, by the head of state and government, President Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, to console the bereaved families as well as to visit those who were injured in this accident.
We have witnessed a number of accidents, especially along our trunk roads, major roads, and we've noticed that according to research, people talk of human error, which accounts for a larger percentage of the accidents that we are witnessing as a nation. But just to buttress, as a nation, we have managed to come together, all stakeholders, where we are advocating for gadgets to govern the speed limits and make sure that from the manufacturer, these gadgets are actually put in place, so that as we then import these buses, will not have the challenge of controlling speed. And we are saying, as Minister of Transport, together with Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, we are going to be working closely with the police so that we also capacitate them in terms of the infrastructure tools that they need, so that the trade of this kind of an environment will be enhanced because of the gadgets that we then promote, whether they are vehicles, whether they are speed monitoring devices. We are also willing to partake. And at the end of the day, the issue to revisit our legislation, which at times is inhibiting, and we are saying as a nation, we also need to then move with speed, and you'll see just in the coming days where we are going to be revisiting our statutory instruments so that we continue enforcing and making sure that we have got pieces of legislation in place that would hinder this kind of indiscipline we are witnessing.
A tragic happening there leading to the death of all those people in that particular accident. The Zimbabwe Republic Police continues to remind and urge motorists to always be cautious and value human life when driving on the country's roads. Moving to a different story, Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport Police Station apprehended a man for theft. Now, Crime Watch visited this station to find out more on how he committed these shenanigans.
The accused, Munez, 24 years, would lure unsuspecting victims on the pretext that he could supply United States dollars to anyone with Zimbabwean dollars RTGS. The victims would be convinced to travel to Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, where he would purportedly use their credit cards to pay duty before giving them United States dollars in return. However, on entering the airport premises to pay duty, the suspect would then disappear without trace. Police instituted investigations after a report was made by one of the victims who had been duped by the accused person of 3.5 million RTGS using the same method. Airports Company of Zimbabwe, ACZ, quickly chipped in by supplying CCTV footages with which we identified the accused in the act. We planted police officers on surveillance, and within a week the culprit was noticed at the airport premises, leading to his arrest. Another victim, whom he had freezed of 850 United States dollars, also came to report how the same accused person had deceived him. He has since appeared at Epworth Magistrate Court. Members of the public are reminded not to entrust their money or credit cards with strangers. Remember to also make reports early at nearest police stations should you be faced with similar predicaments.
Join us in the third and final segment. Welcome back. We're now in the third and final segment of Crime Watch. In view of road traffic accidents that have been happening in the past few weeks, Crime Watch decided to visit ZRP Marondra Traffic, where we spoke on road accidents and how best motorists and the police can work collectively to prevent road carnage.
Since January this year, up to date, we have received 234 accidents. This year we have 18 deaths, and last year we had 21 deaths. On a sad note, of the 18 fatalities that we have received so far this year, 9 of them occurred in Marondera town. 1 occurred at Rich Floor along Rosawi Road. I therefore appeal to the motoring public to exercise extreme caution when driving on the roads. Motorists should not overspeed, overload their vehicles, not to overtake in front of oncoming traffic, and also to be alert and not to misjudge at intersections.
In a different story, police in Masvingo apprehended 2 people for unlawful entry into premises and theft cases. In most of these cases, they targeted electrical gadgets. Let us find out more.
We received information to the effect that the accused person, Epo in Swaradoka, was selling brand new ITEL cell phone in Masvingo CBD. The cell phone was suspected to have been stolen. We reacted to the information and we managed to apprehend the accused. Through interviews, the accused then led us to his accomplice, Gilbert Mdenge. The two led us where they were living in Manyama area in Masvingo, where more searches were conducted and we recovered more cell phones, electrical gadgets, laptops, and solar panels. We managed to locate the complainants of the property, and they were brought to the station for identification, and they all identified their property. Some of the stolen property were hidden in Bulawayo. We managed to track it to Bulawayo, where other solar panels were also recovered. The two accused persons were taken to Mashingo Meter's Court, and one, Epoch Waradoka, was convicted of the 16 counts of unlawful entry and theft, and was sentenced to 13 years imprisonment.
It is now time for people who are on the police wanted list. ZRP Marondera Rural is looking for Fidelis Chimenya, aged 48, of Showers Farm, Marondera, for a murder case. Still with ZRP Marondera Rural, Isaac Chikoti, aged 44, of Mafuro Farm, Marondera, is also wanted in connection with a murder case. Mutoko Police is looking for Tinashe Mureza, aged 19, of stand number 1103, medium density in Mutoko, in connection with a rape case. Should you have information that may help in locating any of these wanted people, please feel free to visit or contact any nearest police establishment. Alternatively, you can link with us on any of the following details. Our national complaints desk number is 0242 703 631. You can visit our website at www.zetrap.gov.zw. Link with us on our Twitter handle at Police Zimbabwe, or email us on feedback@zetrap.gov.zw. To those who may have missed any of our previous episodes, do not despair, as you can watch all Crime Watch episodes on ZRP YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. It has been a pleasure having you along. Until we meet again next time, from the Crime Watch crew behind the scenes, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, and of course myself, Elliot Kudzai Ganyani, do take care of your loved ones and each other, and see you next time.